Continuing in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch in Hilchos HANUKKAH halacha ches mitzvah lahanicha lamayla mishloisha tvachim and akarka lamata me'asara tvachim. The mitzvah of putting the menorah has to be above 3 tvachim, less than 10 tvachim. A tefach is usually the size of a fist. Above 3 tvachim, a chair, little thing which is above 3 tvachim and under 10 tvachim, in that radius of space. You should put your menorah. If he did it above 10 tvachim, yotze, he's still yotze. Avol, nevertheless, if it's higher than 20 amos, he is not yotze the mitzvah of pirsumei nisa. Above 20 amos, the eye does not catch, it doesn't see. When a person walks, his eye doesn't see above 20 amos. Mishu dahar valdia, someone that lives on the attic, he lives upstairs. Yachal anicha mikapot b'chalaim by the window. Afal pishu hu kavayel the ma'ilem masar tvachim. Even if it's above 10 tvachim, he's allowed to put it by the window. Avali machalin the ma'ilem esrim amma. If the chalain is higher than 20 amma, if the window in where he is higher than 20 amos, yikarka reshus harabim, from the actual reshus harabim, where people go in the eyes of the people that are actually walking will not see the menorah in this guy's window. As I told you, it is better to put it actually inside his house by the door across the mezuzah, like you mentioned in halacha zayin. Halacha tes, notice the candles they should be on one row b'shaveh, on the same row, the same level, like every menorah that we have. And he continues, it has to be on the same level. One shouldn't be higher, one shouldn't be lower. And there will be a separation between the actual candles. And also that the actual candles will not get too close to each other, and the flame will be one big flame, and it will look like a bonfire instead of a hacker recognition to see that there are different candles in the menorah. A regular, typical menorah, same menorah, different ideas. Here is the idea that it's all on one level, not too high, not too low. It would be a problem. He speaks about the lahav, the flame, being too close together. Machlal, a problem could be also when the menorah is with these candles, that because of the heat, it burns. The candles are burned on the sides much quicker. And the small candles are supposed to be 30 minutes, the big ones are 50 minutes. Sometimes it burns out much quicker. There are different ways of getting around to do things. They have tea lights and different things that they put them all on the same level. These are the ways we're talking about time. People should be yotze to the mitzvah of lighting the menorah. If somebody has candles that are made out of wax, if there's native shaiva, he has wax candles, he should be careful that they should not get too hot together, and they're going to start dripping off one on another. Miller ka'ara shemen. Somebody fills up a dish, a bowl of oil, he give psilos, and he put around it a bunch of wicks. If he puts on top of it like a type of covering, to show that there is a recognition of a psila, and a wick actually sticks out. If he doesn't cover it, then all the wicks in this keli, this vessel with oil, is considered one candle. He didn't cover it. If he covers it, then we can consider it like one candle. But if he doesn't even cover it at all, it's not even good for one candle. Like it's considered like a bonfire. A candle which has in it 2 heads, 2 wicks coming out of it. He says over here You should not light it for 2 candles. Even in the first night, there is no recognition. You can't recognize and show that this is 1 candle, 2 candles. It's 1 wick. It's 1 candle with 2 wicks. So people are going to think even on the second night, you're going to light both wicks, but it's 1 candle. On the first night, it's 1 candle, but there's 2 wicks, and I'm going to write 1 wick. It has to be hecker that there is 1 candle. It's a full candle each night. It should be visible to people. The time of, the earliest time, which we're talking about over here, not out of Shabbos or on the night time. When do you light the menorah? Adlakas, hanedes of the menorah is by Tzeisak Yichavim, which literally means when the stars start coming out, which is also the time that you can start the Avnei Ma'ariv, which is, there's Shkia, there's Ben Hashmoshes, and right after that starts the idea of Tzeisak Yichavim. And you should not delay, or also la'asui shum davar, that's forbidden to do anything kaidem hadlaka before the lighting of the menorah. Even to sit and learn, or learn your shirim, whatever it is. Here he says there's this idea of forgetting. You're afraid that he might get involved too much and he might forget to light the menorah, and somebody won't be around the house for Pesach or whatever it may be. If he didn't daven Yispaal, if he didn't daven Ma'ariv, he should go daven Ma'ariv. If it's his man to daven Ma'ariv, when he's finished, he should come back and light the menorah. And before he lights the menorah, it's called B'nei Ba'isei the Pesumei Milsa. He should bring together all his household and speak about the ness of Hanukkah. Pesumei Milsa, the word here is Mefarsim, the wording speaking about the nest. You have to put in the menorah at least a half an hour. However, by default, if it happened that he did not light the menorah right away, he's still allowed to light the menorah anytime somebody in his house is actually awake. Then he's allowed to say a bracha the whole time. Anytime somebody in his house is awake. If somebody is up, fine. But if nobody's up and people are sleeping at nighttime, he's allowed to light, but he should not make a bracha. If he's not going to have a chance to light it by the night, so he could do it earlier by plaga mincha. What's plaga mincha? Plaga literally means half. Mincha is the time of davening mincha. Now, in general, the way it works, there's something called shayzmanius. In the winter, it's shorter. In the summer, it's longer. A regular hour is 60 minutes. But now, the Rebbe in Machlal and davenings, there's something called a hour of davening hour, shayzmanius. So here he gives you together. You split it up in the daytime. Zman tefillah, zman mincha, mincha gdoila, mincha ktana. So he calls it over. There's mincha gdoila, which means there's more time to the day. Mincha ktana, at the end, there's a short time left. So plag mincha would be half of that. The hainu shah reviz koidem tzeisak yichavim, which would be, he says over here, an hour and a quarter before tzeisak yichavim. Hainu shah zmani is that it's split here into shazmanis. A shazmanis in the winter could be 45 minutes, 50 minutes, not 60 minutes. In the summer, it could be longer. According to the length of the day, ayin el simin samachtes siv beis may Hanukkah, on the days of Hanukkah, Shem Ketzarim, when the days are shorter in the winter, imayem aruch rak eser shois, if the daylight is only 10 hours, Allah Uud, which is going on a shine, you find out that the daytime on the clock is only 10 hours. Shais manis azai plag mincha havisha achas v'shtei minuten dakas v'chetzi. In the Hanukkah, which there's less daylight, which means the hours according to Shais manis are shorter. So he says over here, it's not an hour and a quarter. It is an hour, 2 minutes and a half a minute. You could light your menorah from Plag Mincha on condition that you put enough oil that it's going to burn and half an hour after Tzeitzei Kechom. Sheyitin shemen kidei sheyu doilikim ad chatzi shol la'achat Tzeitzei Kechom. He's doing it an hour and 2 minutes and a half early, and it has to also be another half an hour after Tzeitzei Kechom, the time that he's supposed to be lighting the menorah, which would be an hour, 32 minutes and a half. And if he doesn't do it in such a way, he was not makan the mitzvah of the Hanukkah. Seder hadlakasan. If you'd aleph. What is the seder of lighting the menorah? Kfi and hagenu according to our minig. Malayla hadisha in the first night of Hanukkah madlikin haner shekeneged yiminoi. He has to light the menorah on the side which is again keneged. The menorah is over here on his right side, connected his yamin, and from the right all the way to the left. So it would be from the right to the left, his right. The mezuzah is on this side, coming into the house on the right. The menorah is like this, starting from the right side. You go and you add every night a light. The shamash is in a different place to show that this is the shamash. If you need to get light, it's from a different candle, not from the actual menorah, not that it used from those lights. So he says like this: in the first night of Hanukkah, madlikin haner keneged shekeneged yaminoi, which is keneged, bosom on his right side. And the second night, moisif, you add a love ner keneged smiloi right next to the one on the right. You're going to the left. The same thing is b'chalayla moisif, you add a light. Every night we gotta add a light. And you just continue and lighting the menorah, adding from right to left, and it turns all the way till you finish lighting the menorah. And this is what he ends off, the last line, which is very important. He says you have to start from the candle of that night. So you put the candles in, you put them in, and you start adding them from right to left. However, when you are actually lighting your menorah, you have to start from the new candle of the day and go back to where you started from on the right side. So you put the candles in, and then you have to go back to till the first candle on the first night. Ad kan halacha yud aleph.